For people that don't know who you are, can you just start off with sort of like where were you born? So what country, what city, what was life like when you were a young girl?
Okay, I was born in Johannesburg, Alex, the west part of Johannesburg, if you know Johannesburg in South Africa. Moved to the Vaal, grew up there, and made a life for myself and my family now in the east. So I'm a pure toasted buttered Joburg
Right.
in all
Okay.
angles.
So you live in Johannesburg now as well.
Yes, yes.
Right. What was life like for you growing up? So as a child, what was primary school like? What kind of schools did you go to?
I went to an Afrikaans schools.
Afrikaans.
I went, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I went to Afrikaans schools. I had a good life, to be honest. You know, I'll be lying if I say we always had a car at home. It was not a typical South African story. Both parents worked, you know. It was good. Never used a taxi in my life
Well,
until I actually wanted to use a
yeah,
taxi, you
yeah,
know.
yeah. Did you?
Brother, I had a brother and a sister.
Mm.
And obviously, being the last child, I was abused by my siblings.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I cannot say my life was hard or your normal South African story. No, I had a good life.
Right.
I don't remember not having Kellogg's and milk with sugar, you know. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, that kind of good
Okay. Now
life.
that's good. That's good. So, in terms of Afrikaans school, when you say Afrikaans school, was it Afrikaans in that the medium in which they were
First,
teaching was Afrikaans,
first language,
or
first language was Afrikaans. Everything else was Afrikaans. English was an English class
wow, you're kidding me.
only. So I did my maths, I did my science, I did my geography in Afrikaans. Yeah.
Really? So your Afrikaans, you must
Yes.
be very proficient in Afrikaans then.
I can if I have to.
Yeah.
If I have to survive, yes, I
Yeah.
can. But yes, yes, which I'm very happy about. I mean, you cannot say you're South African and know only one or two languages. Being a South African means you can speak more than four
Right.
languages and understand some, you
Yeah.
know. Yeah, that's the beauty about being South African is that it's so easy for us to speak to each other,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know. No matter where you come in the country, we will speak to each other and understand,
Yeah.
you know.
Damn, this is the first time I get in. This is
Yeah,
the first time I
so
get intimidated. You know, every other South African I talk to doesn't know Afrikaans. You know what I mean? So I could be like, that thing,
that's cool,
that thing,
yeah. But forget, but remember, when I welcome, I mean, probably your cows had milk in
Yeah,
Afrikaans, eh?
exactly.
So
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
still winning, you still own it.
Okay. No, good point. Good point. Good point. I like when you talk about the fact that because I think people who aren't South African, they don't understand when you say that at home you were able to have, well, we call it Kellogg's, but you were able to have cornflakes with sugar. People don't understand that analogy because I think, you know, a lot of them miss this, that in South Africa, there's this idea that if you eat cornflakes at home, life was so good. You know what I mean? And yeah, to an
Yeah,
extent,
it was
yeah,
good, right?
yeah.
Otherwise, let him
Yeah,
go.
exactly.
Otherwise, him
Yeah.
go for nothing, for that
Yeah,
matter.
you know, so it's a breath of fresh air actually to hear you. It sounds like I we had very similar upbringings, you know, and you don't really see it as being anything other than this is just how you grow up, you know?
Yes, I don't know anything else. Anything else, I would realize that there's some difference in lives, in different people's lifestyle and everything is when I visit my grandmother, you know,
Mm,
then there it was a different story.
yeah,
You gotta take what you get.
yeah,
You cannot have choices. I remember once milk ran out and I had to use water.
yeah. You were like,
I thought my life was ending. I thought my life was ending.
yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. Wow. Okay.
And she made it clear, this is not your mama's
Yeah.
house. Eat what you get,
Oh
you know.
my
So
God.
I was like, oh, so there's this side of life. Okay, okay.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, so that's the only time I realized that there's another side of life.
Did you ever have to sort of chase chickens, pluck chickens, feathers or anything like
Yes,
that?
yes, yes,
How
yes,
was that? You know, given your
yes.
upbringing, how did you feel about something like that?
from Joburg to, because I grew up in the Free State. Half of my life was in the Free State. Yes. That actually, to date, I'm grateful for that experience, mainly because I can survive anyway.
Okay.
I can survive anyway. I can survive in the soft life. I can survive in the hard life. I can survive anyway. I can grow a farm in a minute because I have both sides of understanding of how to grow your own food and how to buy food. You know, so the first time I killed a chicken, sorry guys, we do kill chickens. The first time I killed the chicken, the first time I killed the chicken, I was probably what, 9 years old. It ran away.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
It ran.
Yeah.
It ran because I did not hold it strong enough. You know, it left me.
Wow.
But the next time I tried again, I succeeded, and I had a meal for the day. I had a meal for the day. It was I really had achieved something that day. Hey, I bred for years, like not days, years. I bred for years. I killed the chicken and I ate it. You know,
Right. Okay. Okay. So
and cleaning up a chicken is the best.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I hear you. So, okay. So what was high school like for you? Was it still an Afrikaans school, or what was high school like?
It was both. Now I was both Afrikaans and English because now I could make a choice. Thank you. It was good and bad. Good and bad in the main sense of it was the user time, you know.
So explain to people who, you know, won't know, because especially people in Australia, what do you mean by that? What time was it?
It was the time when I think productions were trying to teach us what's happening in the locations that we're not aware of. The struggles that people who have less are going through on a day-to-day basis, especially in schools, high schools. Survival of the fittest, the attitude of a man has to, not even a man, a boyfriend has to supply, to a point where even young girls moved in with their boyfriends for men just to survive, you know. So that is a taboo in the other side of the world in South Africa, and then that is a norm in the other side of South Africa, which is the locations. It's a norm to stay with your boyfriend. It's not a big deal, you know. So they were teaching us that, and it was a shocker because now schools were trying to school kids were experimenting with that kind of lifestyle. So it was the transport, the making noise, disruption. It was just disruption. For us, those who know what is it to have a normal life, it was just disruption. It was unbearable. We couldn't take it. But you end up falling into the traps because it's fun. Honestly, it's fun. It was fun when they were spinning cars during school hours. It was fun. It was something that we've never seen before. So it was an experience and a half. But the problem is, it was a thin line for one to be able to decide whether you go with the crowd or you focus on school. Most of us went with the crowd, you know, and we survived, thank God. But some didn't survive. So that was the bad side of it. You can die. You would have died in those conditions in school.
Wow. Okay. So when you were in school, what did you want to be when you grow up? Like, did you have any ideas of where you wanted to take your life?
Yeah. You know, my smart mom wanted me to be a quantity surveyor.
Okay.
But I didn't. When I started understanding what entailed, I was like, that's boring, man. Just imagine running around land, calculating space. No. I'd rather want to be a forensic pathologist. You know, wanted to do with dead people. Yeah. I wanted to do forensics. Yes. Mainly the morgue.
Wow. Okay.
But when I finished high school, there was no varsity offering that as a program on its own or a degree on its own. You know, so it's either you went via the police to get into forensics and eventually specialize, or you start doing medicine first, and that was just too much money, too much time. So I became a hustler.
So hang on a second. So let me go a couple steps back. So you said, okay, so you were thinking about forensic pathology, and you're saying sort of like in the South African space, it was difficult to find a university that had that degree. So you had one of two options. Do you say police or medicine?
But yeah, police or medicine,
Okay.
and specialize in forensics. If you go to medicine, you'd have to specialize in forensics. And if you go to police, you'd end up graduating to a point where you work with a pathologist who happened to have studied medicine and assisting them to a level of ending up getting into the programs.
Okay.
So
Okay.
now they do offer it, and it's 12 years. A lot of people are like, "It's here now, you can do it." I'm like, 12 years in school,
Yeah.
nah, full
Wow, that's
time, no,
hectic.
no,
Yeah. Yeah.
no, no. I'm in my 50s, guys,
Yeah.
no,
Damn.
no,
Wow. Okay. Yeah. That's it.
no. I think it'd be more fun for me to, if things worked out any different, somehow different, if I would be practicing as a pathologist now. I would be enjoying it.
Okay.
I would enjoy it. It would be awesome now at my life, age, and time, and my interest
Yeah.
now. I don't know what would I be interested in my 50s, but I doubt that it would be the morgue.
Yeah.
Probably when I live the best time. I want to be sitting at the beach.
Yeah.
Just sipping cocktails. I don't
Yeah.
know. But now I know I would enjoy it. Sadly, it didn't happen, but it's good. I'm still in medicine. That's a nice part.
Right. Okay.
Different level,
Yeah.
but still in
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Right. Cool. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So
You didn't have to spend time in school.
yeah.
So yeah.
So okay. So it didn't work out that way. So what path then did you end up going down? And like where? I guess how did you get to where you are today? Like as we speak right now.
Now I look at my life and I'm like, about a person who's blessed. That's me, bruh. Everything somehow worked out in my favor, even though I did not realize that I needed what I have. It's like everything fell into place somehow without me actually working hard. Some people will tell you I worked so hard to get where I am. I worked hard, yes, I did put in the time and hours, but it was for me it was easy to get what I have. For instance, I started being an executive assistant at the age of 22. After owning a couple of restaurants of my own.
Wow.
I was a restaurant owner for a couple of years.
Well,
Yes,
hang
and
on.
I decided that,
You can't just brush over that. Like, okay, actually, you know what? Go through it. We're gonna go back to it because I wanna hear about the restaurants. Okay, it's fine. Okay,
yeah.
cool. So executive assistant. Yep. Sorry.
So I got into it with no education, and for some reason, I don't know how do I present myself. Somehow, there's something about me apparently I don't know, and I'm still looking for it, and I don't know what is it. It's that nobody believes what I say. They always think I'm more qualified, more educated, better. It's like I don't know what's up with this that makes people don't believe what I say. So a guy was like, "You don't belong here." Mind you, I was the owner of the restaurant. He tells me, "You don't belong here," and I said, "Okay, give him a chance. Don't break him down yet and tell him actually it's your shop." He said, "I'm a CEO. I'm looking for a PA. Seems like I can grow you." I was a kid at the time, so I was like, you know what? Call him, take it, and see what happens. Maybe a light cop, So I told my partner at the time that I'm gonna try an office. That's what I said. I'm gonna try an office and see if I like it. Tried an office, loved it. They offered education. I went to study at Wits. School fees paid for.
Wow.
It was like, wow, this is awesome. This is a good thing ever. Mind you, this was a person with no formal education. I just finished my matric and I went to the street and started working. Not street, but the hustle hard to get to where I got to. So I studied at Wits and business administration. I've got a BA degree.
Nice.
And I've never looked back. And mind you, I didn't even pay for it myself.
Wow, okay.
Talk about things working out for your favor without you even trying hard. That's what I was saying. Yes, I've never looked back. I love what I do. I have a business of my own. I mean, I've got two businesses of my own. Me and my husband are running them. I've never looked back, and I enjoy what I do. I don't know if there's anybody who loves what they do like I do. And when I talk to people, they're like, "Don't talk to us. You love your job." I'm like, "Yes, I love my job. I love my job." Wow. It's not even about the money. They can keep the money, but there's way more to my work than money, than money.
So in simple terms.
So I always tell my boss.
Yeah. So sorry to interrupt you. In simple terms, what do you do? So you get to work. What do you do for work today?
Today, I assist patients to have good quality of life and be happy in their sadness. I say that now that I'm older, they are leaders and helpers. I'm a helper. There is no way I can lead, mainly because I'm short-tempered. You're not a good leader if you're short-tempered to start with. So I realized soon that I cannot be in a leading space because I'm very short-tempered and I have a very bad attitude. But I find myself being properly used when I'm assisting. When I'm assisting, I mean anything and anybody. Whether I'm helping a granny cross the road, that excites me. Literally waking up every morning to come and see my patients. I hate even taking leave. The couple of days I was on leave, I hated it. I came back sooner than expected.
Wow.
My boss was pissed off me.
Yeah.
Like, why did you come back? It's not the time to come. And I'm like, I'm doing
Wow.
nothing important at home.
Yeah.
That's not important.
Wow.
So I really love what I do.
Yeah.
I would not change it for anything. And it's not about the money. They can keep the money as long as when a person is sick now and they say thank you. When you did nothing besides your job, and your job makes them feel like they've survived and they've been given a chance to live again or live better. That like no words can explain. No words can explain a thank you from a person who thought they were dying and now they think they have a chance to live.
Wow. Okay.
Hence I say if I had time and money, I would most probably study medicine, but the time. So it's best where I am.
Well, you can still study it, I think medicine is one of those things that I find it interesting as well, because it's at the back of my mind in terms of sort of like whether or not I still want to study it, right? Yeah, I don't know. I find it interesting as well. Like it's definitely at the back of my mind. Like there's a chance that I might. I think you should. I don't think you should discount it, right? Especially.
The thing is, with what I know now, I would want to specialize. It would not just
That's okay.
be medicine. I'd want to specialize, and specializing takes even longer.
Fine, because
it takes even longer.
Okay. I'll put it to you like this.
I want to be a 50-year-old doctor.
Matter. Let me explain. I'll put it to you like this. When I was talking to this doctor, and I was saying the same thing to them, and what did they say? Something along the lines of, the time is going to pass anyway. Right, as in whatever it is, 7 years from now is going to be 7 years from now, right? The time is going to pass anyway, right? And if you throw yourself into something that you actually do enjoy, right, then don't look at it unless it's a means to an end. What he said to me was, the only time you will start saying that's too long is if you're really getting into it because of what you're hoping you'll get out of it, which for a lot of people may be financial. And if that's the case, then you're going to struggle through it. But he's like, if it's something you enjoy, you throw yourself into it, and the time will be like gone in like no time, But I personally, I wouldn't want to specialize. I in inverted commas, I would want to specialize in family medicine. So just being a GP, right? I think that alone interests me, right? But
for me, I would want to specialize probably in forensic pathology or vascular, because then actually I have not yet met a black vascular surgeon.
Oh, really?
Woman. Yeah.
Interesting.
I haven't. And I've been working with vascular surgeons for the past 12 years now, if not 15 years.
Wow.
And I have not met a black woman who is a vascular surgeon. I met a lot of women doctors, black, succeeding, growing, they specialize in other fields, but vascular.
Wow.
Okay. And they say after God, it's a vascular surgeon.
Right. Okay. Look, I honestly think.
Yeah,
I honestly think you should don't give that up. As someone else I was speaking to on here said that that idea, that dream, that seed has been planted in you. Somehow you'll find a way. Right? I mean, there are people that have. There was a girl.
I'm looking into it in bits by bits.
Yeah, there was a girl that I lived with. Did I live with her or was it my ex? Either I lived with her or my ex lived with her. She was doing drama. She was doing actually she did law first, yeah? She did law, after doing law, she did drama. Okay, she did drama. She graduated, and then she did medicine. You understand? Like, and just when we met her, she was just about to graduate and doing medicine. So imagine how much time she spent. In fact, when we met her, I think she was maybe high 30s, maybe low 40s, but she really enjoyed. She actually just loved studying. She really just loved studying. You know, so here's this person with like
There are professional
no, but
students out there.
here's the thing. She didn't want to be a professional student. She actually wanted to do these things. She's one of these people that I really wanted to know what it's like to do this. I'm gonna do it, and then she just goes off. She's like, don't really want a boyfriend. Don't really want. I find these things interesting, you know. But anyway, sorry, I digress. Okay, so you are where you are right now, right? And then how long have you been with your partner now?
14 years.
Okay. So
14 years, yeah, we're going for 15.
Damn. Okay. So before you met your partner, who were you? You were with your partner previously, right? You were with a partner before that?
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Right. So as you can see slowly where I'm going with this, right? So
Yeah.
So obviously, you know, I've heard about your upbringing. It's a pretty good upbringing, you know, and I think a lot of times in South Africa, when you have an upbringing like yours, you know, you look at the trajectory and you see it going a particular way, right? Whether fortunately or unfortunately, you know, circumstances in your life, you know, happened and you found yourself at a bit of a crossroads. Can you tell us a little bit about that, you know, sort of what happened, you know, and where was your head at the time?
I'd say it was, when was it? I was 20, turning 21, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow, okay.
And for me, looking at a 21 or 20-year-old, they're babies.
Yeah.
Like they're babies, like they know nothing. But at the time, I thought I knew it all, I thought I got this life thing figured out, got my own property in Melville.
Yeah.
Melville is one of the affluent suburbs in Johannesburg, you know. I thought I made it. What was missing? Nothing, but I had it all in my head. And now that I look back, I'm thinking, Lord Jesus, how many of me's are out there today? Lord help me. You know, it's so sad. It's so sad. And at that time, when you have your own money at that age, nobody can tell you anything. You know, nobody can tell you anything. Even if they can see that you're going south, but because actually you don't need them. Your opinion, quite frankly, is irrelevant at the time. So what had happened is normal dating, normal relationships. I would say I'm a long-term relationship person. You know, I'm not short-term. You know, so I'm that one for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4, 5 years. You know,
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm that type.
Gotcha.
So probably I can count my boyfriends in one hand. In one hand. People I remember, it'd be a first boyfriend, second boyfriend, and a random in my husband, you know.
Gotcha.
You know, that's how I would count them in one hand. And you know, sometimes you'd be like, but why me? I've got a whole friend, I'm not a hoe.
Yeah.
I've got a whole friend, literally, from Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Monday she'd be asking who did I sleep with. That's not me, but why, you know? Like, no, man, I've got a whole friend. This does not belong with me. AIDS does not belong with me. I've got a whole friend. She deserves it. It belongs to her, not me, you know? You start looking at yourself through other people's lives and ways, but forgetting that it doesn't take a hoe. It just takes being irresponsible with your own life. That person who you think is a hoe might just be kissing them, not sleeping with anybody for that matter, you know? You being in a serious relationship and thinking you're building something, you sleeping with wrong people. You get it? So looking at somebody's life from the outside, that's when I learned that you don't do that. You don't see Neo driving his Merc and saying, if Neo can drive it, I can drive it. No. You don't know what he does at night. You know, it's not true. That's his, it's not yours. And you should not make Neo's life and ways as if it's a template for your ways. to say nah, I'm not selling drugs. Bottom line is you would not even be able to sell drugs if you were asked to, so that you can get that
Yeah.
money, you know? So don't put yourself in anybody's position for whatever reason. You are where you are because you're supposed to be there. And if you're not happy, make a plan and move on. So going back in 2000 and I think it was 2007, if not six, I just got out of a serious relationship, a very long, serious relationship. And why did I get out of it? It was because it was a transition. I mean, I've just finished high school, started working, being partners in different restaurants, and my then boyfriend seemed to be not moving anywhere, to be honest, which I don't think to date I was wrong thinking like that. Not moving anyway, not going forward, not going backwards. I have to send him taxi money to come see me. That was just tiring and exhausting, you know. So I was trying to get rid of him. Broke up with him. He didn't understand. Forced his way. So I was like, you know what, if I find a boyfriend, maybe he'll leave me alone, you know, because as long as I tell him I'm still single, he thinks we still have a chance. And we are in total different lives now. And there is no way I will be sponsoring a man's way and lifestyle. That's not what I want. I never wanted to sponsor a man's way and lifestyle. If you can't take some of a relationship, don't get into a relationship. Because a relationship, it's not just cuddling and looking at watching TV, you know? It's a lot of things. So I just got a random guy, dated him, a rock star, by the way.
Did you say a rock star?
Yeah, rock star, right? Electric guitar.
Wow, okay.
He played an electric guitar in a band. So, you know, every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I was out at North Gate, and I can even remember the sounds.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
From a hip hop head to a rock head.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what was I thinking.
Yeah.
But hey, we did what we did. So probably the relationship lasted about 3 months. It was the shortest relationship I ever had. I was so shocked and hurt because I thought it was something that we can work on. I thought so, you know. I thought, I mean, he's educated. It's just that his extramural activities on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, hey, they change.
Wow, okay,
But Monday to Thursday, he's a working man, has a proper job, lives in a proper place. He's a good citizen. It's just Friday, Saturday, and Sunday that he becomes something else.
Okay.
And I think that's what attracted me to him, that he can flip and switch like that. I like people who are not boxed.
Yeah.
I enjoy people who are not boxed, you know. So 3 months down the line, we broke up around June of the year. He calls me 3 weeks later. He says he wants to apply for a medical aid. I'm his last girlfriend. Can I please get tested so that he can submit the results to the medical aid? You know, I'm the type of person that when I hear something, I'm not listening to what you're saying. I'm listening to what you are not saying. I've always been like that. And I'm like, what? Like, you know, the buzzing sound in your ear? And so I was reading an SMS. So I had this buzzing sound in the back of my head. I just got an immediate headache. And I thought, what the hell is this guy telling me? Got out of my bedroom, went to my other friend's bedroom. I was like, please read this SMS and read it out loud to me. He says, try. You need to go get tested. Tomorrow morning, we're going through. I don't care what you say. We are going through. You're getting tested. Shit. Oh, Lordy, Lord, what have I done? What have I done? Monday morning, it was a Sunday afternoon. That Sunday was a mess, hey? It was blurry till the next morning. Monday, I go through sit down. The counselor says, I'm sitting with the whole friend, by the way. The chick, so the guy called the chick friend of mine, like, bro, you need to drive her. You know she's crazy. You need to drive her there. I don't
Yeah.
want you to be alone. You know she's very crazy. You might just do something
Yeah.
crazy. Drive with her and make sure she's fine. They're always taking me to go get
Wow.
tested.
Oh my God.
She even says to me, you see, I'm going to test first. If I'm positive, you don't have to test. I'm like, it doesn't work
Wow.
like
Yeah.
that. It's like, no. See, if it's negative on me, what are the chances for you to be
Yeah.
positive? What are the chances if I'm negative? I'm like, yeah, you got a point though. So she tests first, it's
Yeah.
negative. At least there's some light, you know.
Yeah.
So the counselor says to me, what happens if it's positive? I looked at the window. I was like, what floor are we in? She's like, we're on the third floor. I'm like, I'm going to jump out that window.
Damn.
She gets up and closes the window.
Wow.
She says, ma'am, I won't be able to test you. You need to be serious. I'm like, no, I'm serious. Like, forget me not smiling. I'm going to smile through this, and chances are you won't know how I really feel about whatever that's going to happen. But there's a high chance I'm going to kill myself.
Oh my God.
So if you want to know if I'm going to kill myself or not, I'm going to kill myself.
Yeah.
You know? And she's like, I can't test you. I'm like, you know, I can go to a private doctor, right? And get this done and get the same results and do the same thing I'm telling you I'm going to do, kill myself. So just do it. And she's like, yo, you've got a bad attitude. Let me just do it. She does it. No. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened for the next 6 months from that day. Eh?
Mm.
Yeah, yes. I can see there's a question that says, please clarify, were you testing for HIV and AIDS? Yes. I don't know what happened for the following 6 months of my life from that day. It was the 16th of June or July, 2007. I don't know what happened for the first 6 months. I don't know.
Damn.
I was just floating.
Mm.
I have no clue. So the first thing that comes into my mind is, yo, my mom, bruh.
Yeah.
My mom. Yo, my mom. Yo, she's gonna die. Yo, I'm gonna kill my mom.
Oh my
I'm like,
gosh.
I'm not telling her. Let's move along. I'm not telling her, let's move along. We move along. I float. Literally, I was suicidal for the first 6 months.
Yeah.
I did not wanna die, obviously. I wanted to die accidentally.
Yeah. Can I ask you this? Sorry, before I know I'm interrupting you. Can you go back to, so like after she gives you the result, because your friend is there, I get it. The whole friend is there as well. So what was it like in the
Mhm.
room after you get, like, so how did the nurse tell you, like, what was your reaction like when you first heard the news?
For me, I had a buzzing sound in my ear. I had nothing else that anybody was saying. I was just moving along to the next step. I was just moving along. I was just thinking of my mom, my mom, my mom, my mom,
Damn.
my mom, my mom. How am I gonna tell her without killing her?
Mm.
And I know how sensitive she is to bad news, you know. And the next step, after you get tested, the next step is they need to check the virus amount in your body.
Mm.
The viral load. They need to check the viral load and check your CD4 count and see how far the problem is in your situation, because different folks, different problems in this
Mm.
virus. So they took me for more blood tests, and I was hoping it was gonna come back negative. I was hoping that that little tricky thingy magic was faulty, you
Yeah.
know. None of that. It came back. My CD4 count at the time was 650.
What does that mean?
The virus was 650. To a healthy person who's negative, the CD4 count, T cells count, the white blood cells are running between 500 to
Okay.
2,000. Yes, in a blood
Okay.
test. So if you had to go test for your T cells, you'd find they're running at 1.5, 1.8, depending on your smoking habits, drinking habits,
Okay.
food, exercise, and all of that. It influences, yes, your T cells. So mine were running at 650, and the viral load in my body was 40 million copies of HIV I had in my body at the time.
Wow.
So in my head, I saw little HIVs
Oh my
everywhere
God. Yeah, yeah,
inside of me.
yeah. Oh gosh.
Yeah, so I was like 40 million. Oh, so in my brain, it's everywhere. Oh my goodness, it's everywhere. In my fingers, everywhere,
Yeah.
So I had friends. As I say to you, I had a good life through and through. I had friends who were literally looking for a cure for me.
Yeah.
I had friends from Turkey who actually went to Turkey to go look for. From Turkey, they will go to New York. From New York, they'll go to the next world first world to try and find help for me.
Damn. Mm.
I had the best. And mind you, do you think I cared? No. I was literally drinking a bottle of vodka a day and 5 bottles of wines a day. I didn't care. It's like everybody cared, but not me. I wanted to die. Everybody was making sure I eat well. Um, they stopped buying takeouts. It was a matter of my takeout was a Nando's because Nando's is believed to be real chicken
Mm,
compared to your
mm,
KFC and other things. So if I said I wanted to have a takeout, literally, a Nando's would be landing on my lap with the salad in
mm,
it.
mm,
Home cooked meals. I don't remember cooking for myself for the first 3 years of my state of me being infected.
mm.
And I'm saying these are chefs, so they knew what they were doing. So they told me straight up, if you're not finding a cure, we are healing you through
Yeah.
food. My the time did I get? Nope. I promise you. Normally they would have to sniff my water bottles because there's a chance that it would be straight
Yeah.
vodka or gin
Wow. Oh my God.
at any given time, in the morning, at night, any time. I wanted to die from alcohol poisoning. That's why I was drinking like that.
Wow.
I wanted to die by alcohol poisoning. So alcohol poisoning, at least my mom won't think I was suicidal, and it won't hurt her much, and insurance will pay.
Wow.
I overthought of everything. Yeah, insurance will pay, and it won't be suicide. Or drink enough and drown.
Damn.
But sadly, I'm a good swimmer, so that didn't work.
Yeah, yeah,
My husband would laugh at me, be like, now he's my husband. He was my boyfriend. It's like, how do you want to drown when you can
yeah.
swim?
Yeah, yeah.
Like when you're drunk, nothing works, but somehow, I don't know, I was floating through it all. It's funny today. Then it was not funny. The
Mm-mm.
people who were living around me were always scared that they're going to find me out,
Yeah.
you know? They tried by all, mind you, this is not family. These are friends. People I met in the street.
Wow.
These are people I met in the street. These people who wanted to help me and to be a better person with what I have found out about myself. Move along. 2 months after I tested, I meet Kai, who's my husband
Mm.
now. Yeah, who's my husband now. As I said to you, there's something about this face that makes people think I'm lying all the
Mm.
time or I'm full of jokes. Even if I'm serious, trust you me, I will tell you somebody died, but I'll have a smile on my
Mm,
face. I'll
mm,
tell you bad news with a smile on my face. So he's like, he's asking me out, and I'm like, poor guy. That's what I said to him. I'm like, poor
mm,
guy.
mm, mm,
I'm dying. And he says to me, they told me you're crazy. I didn't think you're that
mm.
crazy. The person who wants KFC, she used to buy me KFC every day.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm dying. And he says, they told me you're crazy and you've got words that come out of your mouth that don't make sense. I'm like, yeah, I'm HIV positive and I don't have long to live and I won't have kids. So this is going to be a tap and go relationship. We're not going to be serious because with all honesty, we're not going to have kids. There's no point to this relationship. And he says, you're so crazy. That craziness wants me to be with you.
Wow.
And I'm like, then you stupid. You
Yeah.
stupid wanting to be with a crazy
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was not easy for him because imagine her dating a suicide girlfriend, having a suicide girlfriend. You thought it was going to be fun, and you find that you got yourself into a depression roller coaster, not knowing they're coming or going. I gave this guy a hard time. Hey, I gave him wow. Oh, God bless him. God bless him. I don't even know why he married me. I even asked him today, "Nigga, why did you marry me?" You know, we went on, dated. He convinced me to tell my family. This
Wow.
was
So
3 years after. He
you
convinced me.
still hadn't told your family? Gee.
Nope, none.
Oh my gosh.
None of that. None of that. None of that. None of that, man. None of that. None of that. And I had made sure, Hore, I'm not going to take ARVs so that I don't have to take these pills in front of them.
Oh God.
So I was so healthy. I was so healthy. My CD4 count was not allowing doctors to put me on long-term medicine.
Okay.
So I actually did fight the HIV and I became a better person and I was so healthy. Hey, I was healthier than even my doctor then because I had specialists around me. My HIV specialist was like, dude, you're the first person I've ever seen who's literally not going south.
Yeah. Wow.
You're just going stronger and stronger and stronger every day. I'm like, yeah, that's good news. Clearly, I'll never be on ARVs and my mom will never ever know.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the plan. So yeah, we're on a good track, you know. He convinces me to tell my mom because more than anything, I was depressed, happy in it. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, where you are depressed, but only a few would know that you have problems inside you. Not everybody would know because I'm this bubbly person. This is not pretense now. You know, this is who I am. I'm not smiling because there's a camera. You know, I'll smile any day. So telling my mom, man, Kai drops me off at home. I find that she's cleaning. It's a Sunday afternoon. I'm like, I'm gonna mess up her Sunday. You know, she's playing Tate Chuso in the background. You know, I'm like, shit. Shit. And my drinking habits had gone down, so I was a better person. So I was not drunk. It was going to be better if I was drunk, as usual. You know, so I was not even drunk. I'm so as a judge. I'm with a friend. A friend of mine says to me, dude, don't worry, she's gonna be okay. Your mom is strong. Like you don't know this woman, but she loves her kids so much that she would die for us, like any other mom. But I don't know with my mom, it was kind of different. It's like with my two siblings, she had problems, and she thought she had God has blessed her with me that I'm not giving her problems. You know.
Yeah.
Not only exactly, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I was her success story. You know. Like, oh, Jesus, I'm gonna break your heart so bad. And I'm like, Ma, there's something I wanna tell you. She's like, what? You pregnant? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I'm like, no. Why would I be pregnant? It's like, oh, you never take long to tell me something, or you don't ask for permission to tell me anything. You tell me whatever you want to tell me. Now, for you to ask permission, it means you're pregnant. I'm like, no, man, I'm not pregnant. It's like, what is it? I'm like, I'm HIV positive. It's like, how? At least you know what's gonna kill you.
Wow. That's all she took it?
That's all she said, ma. I was like, Ma, did you hear what I said? She's like, yeah, you see, with me, I've got blood pressure, I've got this, I've got that. Any of these might take me. At least you've got one. I've got 4 problems that I don't know which one is coming and what time is it coming.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah.
I thought, are you serious? She's like, yeah. And my friend starts laughing.
Yeah.
She's like, and she tells my mom, she's like, she thought you were going to pass out and faint. There's going to be 911 calls here and we're going to take you to emergency. It's like, no, we're all going to die.
Wow.
We're all going to die. At least she knows what's killing her. Okay, let's move right along. That's the end of the story. I've never looked back. Hey?
Wow.
I've never looked back. And after telling my mom, everything else was easy. Trying to be an activist was easy because my mom knew now. Doing talks at Love Life was easy. Opening up to people was easier. You know, my then boyfriend's like, now he's serious. He's thinking of me. I'm like, no, we need to tell your family. It was easy, you know, so that they don't expect grandkids from us. Everything became easy after telling my mom. Everything became easy. I wanted to live now. I wanted to enjoy my life. I went to therapy, fixed my brain a little bit here and there, took the little screws, and I'm a good citizen today, I suppose. I think, I guess, you know. Yeah, yeah, and probably what 5 years down the line with Kai, we got married.
Yeah.
With no kid.
So
with
can I
no
ask?
kid,
Sorry to
and
interrupt. Can I ask? So what the? You know how when you guys first met, you were just saying to him like, "Hey, I'm not even gonna be around long. Like you're wasting your time, right?" So now you guys are getting married.
yeah, I was gonna die 25.
Now you're getting
I was gonna die 25.
yeah.
I even gave him a number.
Damn. Wow. Okay. So now you guys are getting
I said I'm
married.
dying at
You're
25.
getting married. What conversations are you guys having now?
Like literally, HIV is not one of our conversations in my house to date. It's not. I remember the first time a condom broke. Hey, brah. Hey, I lost my mind. Eh?
Yeah.
Hey, brah, I lost my mind.
Yeah.
I know I lost my mind. I literally dragged him to the doctor. The doctor was like, Trifina, you need to calm down. I'm like, no, it's not happening. I'm not going to be an person who infects other people and make people feel the way I've been made to feel. Hell no, it's not happening on my watch. The doctor was like, calm down. There's no way you infected. I'm like, hell no. That's when we found out about PrEP. And this was, what, 2009? We found out about PrEP.
Okay.
And they only introduced it in South Africa in 2015.
What? But
you could buy it privately. That's when I found out you could buy it privately.
Wow, okay.
So I paid about $300 US, 3,000 rands for a 30-day supply for him. It's either you were raped or you bought it. And buying it was at $300 US. Yeah, $300 US. I'm just rounding it off. It's not accurate.
Do you get it online or in South Africa?
South Africa, a doctor gave me a script. I got it from the pharmacy.
Yes. Damn it.
This was in 2009. Government only introduced it to the public in 2016. Jeez. I was livid. No, I was so angry when they were on the news announcing there's this new pill. I'm like, we used to call it the blue pill. I'm like, dude, they're talking about the blue pill.
Yeah.
They're saying it's new. This is 2016. We had it in 2009.
Oh my gosh.
They only gave it to rape victims. You know, we used to call it the blue pill. I don't know what it was, blue in color. The pill was blue itself, so we called it the blue pill. So yeah, and he took it, and he's fine. It's always been fine.
So there's the
the
PrEP, which is there's the post exposure and the pre exposure. Did he take both, or does he have to take both, or did he just take the post exposure?
Post exposure, which is 1 pill a day for 30 days or 28 days.
And so you have to take it like for the.
And mind you,
oh my God!
And it will make you sick. You will vomit. You will feel weak. You will go through the most, but you will be fine.
Wow.
That's why it's not advisable. That's why it's not advisable to be on it full time as a negative person. Yes, it's not advisable because it'll mess you up.
Okay.
It'll mess you up.
Okay. So you're with him. Okay, you had the situation where the condom broke. Okay, now today you're a mother, right? Walk me through how walk me through how you got to that part of you being a mom.
Oh, me being a mom, ne? It's the best job ever. It's exhausting, but it's the best. We had probably 4 miscarriages, me and my husband.
Snap. Sorry.
Yeah, so we had accepted that probably because the virus behaves different to different people. You find that others attacks the brain, others attacks the lungs, others attacks. So I assumed it attacked my womb.
Okay, okay, yeah, I get you. I get you. Yeah.
Yeah, I know my crazy
Mm,
brain.
mm, mm,
I assumed it attacked my womb, and I would never have
mm,
kids. And I mean, he knew getting into a relationship that this could be the
mm,
problem. So we're fine with it. We stopped trying. We enjoyed our life, traveled Africa, and when we were getting into our second business, which is transporting school kids, we decided to move to the East End.
mm.
Moving comes with its fun and games. So we had fun and games on that move day, and her AKA is Poof. It's self-explanatory. Poof. That's her AKA.
Mm.
And Poof was Poof. I mean, like the way I'm so joking, I'm such a joker in everything I say and do. My husband didn't believe me. That morning I wake up, I'm like, I feel off. I don't even know why. I'm like, let me just test for pregnancy. I don't even tell him. I go to the bathroom, I come back. I'm like, bro, we're pregnant. It's like you starting again with your funny, non-funny jokes.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm serious. It's double lines.
Wow.
It's double
Yeah.
lines. But and already with the miscarriages, I had doctors who told me as soon as you fall pregnant, come through. Don't wait a month. Don't wait a day. Come
Okay.
through. There's medicines that we need to put you on to keep the baby and you
Okay.
safe. And I said, okay, not a problem. That morning we went to the doctor. Doctor prescribed, literally I was taking about 15 pills a day just to keep the pregnancy. But the reason why is because my womb is weak, so it lets go quickly. As soon as it gets weight, it lets go. It's not because I could not have kids. Yes, I can have kids, I'm fine. It's just it was weak. As soon as weight comes in, it falls out and it becomes a miscarriage.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was the problem, yes. So I stayed on these pills. We kept Poof in my stomach long enough. She was a premature. Long enough until to a point where it was an emergency C-section. I had a ruptured placenta. She almost died, little freak show.
Dear.
I had a ruptured placenta because of that weight thing. So my placenta ruptured before time. Rushed into ER, and it was a Friday. It was a Friday afternoon. I went to work, came back home. I told him what I wanted him to make for me. Yeah, it's true. We asked the husbands to cook. So he was making what I asked.
Yeah.
No, I couldn't wait to eat because I was craving it the whole day. And I said, there's something wrong. He's like, what's wrong? I'm like, take the baby bag, take my bag, let's go. It's not a joke how guys act in movies, guys. It's real. I saw it myself. That guy forgot where the bag was. We did this a couple of times, mind you, prepping ourselves for an emergency run out. That guy messed up big time, eh? I was so disappointed. He forgot the car keys in the house. He forgot where the bags were. He forgot my bag. I'm sitting in the car looking at him and thinking, will he ever remember anything today?
He had baby brain.
Does he understand an emergency? Literally, he took the longest drive to the hospital. We had a 30 minutes, 15 minutes ride. He took an hour.
This guy. Yeah. Snap.
You can say this guy again. Eventually we make it. Probably got there by 6:30. That's the first time mom, everybody was coming me down saying, don't stress, man. First time moms, you all are like this. Panic for nothing all the time. I'm like, oh, thank God. At least qualified people are saying I'm panicking. Thank God. And this nurse walks in and says, if that child doesn't come out of your stomach, you're both going to die.
Oh my gosh.
And she was one of those African ladies, né? So she had that deep accent.
Yeah.
That deep accent, I was rushed into theater, and they told me we are going to perform an emergency C-section. Now, you don't want to hear those words in your life, eh? You don't. I couldn't stop shaking. Hey?
Why? By the way,
I was
sorry to interrupt you. By the way, like as a guy, right? When I hear emergency C-section, nothing in me goes, oh my gosh. I'm just like, okay, because I don't understand. I don't understand just like how how that could be bad. So help me understand.
A planned,
Help me understand. Yeah, and
a
any other
planned,
guys like yeah.
a planned C-section would be a calm environment. Nobody's rushing. Everything is done
Okay.
slowly, slowly. But an emergency means that we're pushing you in, we're cutting you. There's going to be mistakes.
Okay. Damn. Okay.
The mistake, I could feel them cutting me. The anesthetic could not kick in fast enough. Yeah. You see, that's the danger of emergencies. The anesthetic could not kick fast enough, but this child had to come out. His heart rate was going down. Everything was just going south, you know. And her being out of the sac in my stomach, I could infect her with my
Oh my
virus.
gosh.
So the protection sac was gone. Yes. So everything was rushed. I could feel them touching me. I felt her coming out of my stomach, you know. It was not too pain. It felt like, you know, like, you know, that needle feeling, that numb needle feeling.
Are you talking about pins? Are you talking
That's
about
how it
pins and
felt.
needles or?
Yes, pins and needles. Yes, that's what I felt throughout my
Damn.
labor. And Kai was there. You know, he did not want to be in there, by the way, but because it was an emergency, he found himself dressed up and pushed into theater.
Yeah.
We had discussed it. He said, I'll meet you on the other
Yeah.
side. I'm not coming in that room. I don't want to be
Yeah.
traumatized.
Yeah.
I'm not coming into
Yeah.
that room. I don't want to be traumatized. I'm gonna look at you and see you as you, not you as a cut person. No, no. But he found himself dressed up and in there, just chilling there and
Wow.
looking.
Yeah. Yeah.
And looking, you know. And he's got a sound that reminds him of the birth of his daughter, like a suction sound. Like,
Oh,
that's what he
wow.
heard when she came out.
Wow.
You know?
Okay.
Like, I never forget that sound. He can, you wake him up and ask him what's the sound, he'll make the sound.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so recovery was well. She stayed in ICU for a very long time because she was not breathing.
Yeah.
So that was a problem that we
Now, can I
had.
ask?
I forgot about
Yeah.
myself now.
Sorry to interrupt you. Can I ask, when you say she stayed in ICU, now, was this as a result of her being a C-section baby, or was it because potentially she could have been infected, or was it something else? So what caused her to stay in ICU for a long time?
It was something else. So when the placenta ruptures, it means that the child swallows your body fluids, which is dangerous, which is
Okay.
poisonous. And her lungs were underdeveloped. She did not. Her lungs were not fully developed. Her brain was not fully developed. So, because she was a premature, she came out 7 months,
Okay.
not even 8 months. She came out at 7 months. Yeah, so she needed that UV light, and I used to call it a rugby hat. I still don't know what the proper name of that
I
hat
know what you're
is.
talking about.
She had a
Yeah.
rugby hat
I know what you're talking
on.
about. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, you see, it's easy when I say rugby hat.
Mm.
You know, and she had pipes everywhere. Blood tests were done on her. Like, there was no place they didn't prick my child. Hey.
Oh, proof man.
And another thing, people, like, she was so tiny. There's something that people don't know that I didn't know. Babies who are born of HIV positive mothers, they are given ARVs for the first 6 weeks of their
Oh,
lives.
really?
And then they go test. So there's a chance that the test, even though you did everything good, the test can come out positive after the 6 weeks.
Oh dear. Okay.
So immediately after birth, you have to give them ARVs, which is in a liquid form for them. And after that 6 weeks, you go get tested, and the child gets tested for HIV. Luckily, she was negative again.
Yeah.
So it was that was good news.
Yeah.
That was good news. Eh? That
That's
was
pretty
news to
awesome.
take
Yeah.
home.
Yeah.
That was news to take home.
How long did you have
So
to?
we didn't have to worry about
Sorry to interrupt you, by the way. How long did you have to wait before you could take her home?
3 weeks. And I insisted in staying in hospital even though I was fine. I told the doctors, I'm not leaving her here because mothers have to leave their kids in hospital and come visit every day. I was like, no, I'm staying with her. So I stayed with her in hospital. Yes, the cost was very high and very expensive, but I'm like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not leaving my child. I know she's in good hands, but I'm not leaving her.
Yeah.
And so I'd wake up every morning, go check her out in ICU, come back into my room, go back to her for lunch and feed her. So the best for me, it was me being there and learning how to take care of her would be good, because Post-traumatic stress is real,
Mm,
especially for mothers who had premature babies that they left in the hospital. Because you go home without your child, you continue with your life because the child is not with you.
mm.
And when the child comes eventually, it becomes this alien. What the hell is this? You
Okay, I
know?
get you. I get you. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I wanted to avoid that, but it does not mean I did not experience post-traumatic stress, even though it's so funny how people say for somebody who had four miscarriages, you were supposed to be happy that you have a child. No, I wasn't happy. I was happy when it was all happening and the drama was happening. I was happy that she's alive. But fast forward to a month later, I
How
hated
does
her.
that work, Fifi? I need to understand this. I've heard it so many times. I don't fully understand it. I don't understand where it comes from. This idea, this post,
Mind you, this
like,
is a planned baby. This is a planned baby. I hated her. I was like, I made a big mistake. I made a mistake. I was not ready. I was not ready. I was not ready. I don't know what it is, but for me, it was she couldn't stop crying, no matter what I did. It was just terrible. I felt like it's not happening. This is not this is not it. This is not no. This is not happening. I cannot have this thing. I fed. She's clean. Everything is fine. Why is she still crying? Because we think it's gonna be magic where they are clean, they are fed, they sleep. No, it's not that. Literally 2 a.m. you up. This thing is just crying. You feeding it. Doesn't want food. It's not sick. No temperature. Nothing. And the thing is just crying, and you have work in the morning, and this thing is just crying. When it's time for you to wake up, this thing sleeps. It's time for you to leave, this thing sleeps.
wow.
You know, I took my people laugh at me today, which and now I know it was foolish. My child saw specialists until she was 4 years
Mm,
old. And that's foolish. That's just an expense, just running expenses
mm,
unnecessarily, to be honest with you. Um, So it's more like I took it to the pediatrician for each and every little thing.
mm,
She cried the whole night. I take it to the doctor. She gets hiccups. I take it to the doctor.
okay.
She sleeps for too long. I take it to the doctor. Uh,
Okay.
so, so for me, so for me, it was now I have a responsibility of another of a life, and if it happens that I kill her by accident, it's
You,
on
yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna go to jail. How could I ask for something that's putting so much fear in my heart and life? I'm not enjoying it.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not enjoying having a baby. All I'm trying to do is keep her alive. And I was tired because I felt that I'm not qualified to keep somebody alive.
Wow.
So that stressed me out. Luckily, I had my husband, and he would see the frustration and irritation in my eyes, and he'd be like, "Just go, just drive, go out, do whatever you want to do. I'll take care of her this time." Even at night, because we're running our own business, so you'd be like, "It's okay, I have only 2 hour work for tomorrow, so I can stay up. You can sleep."
Mm.
It got to a point where it became a competition between me and him, who can. But he didn't know that I was competing with him.
Yeah.
Who's the better parent? Why is it that you want to be the better parent?
Mm,
I'm also her mom. As much as you're a dad, I'm the mom too. So if anybody can keep her quiet, it's me. But I
mm.
couldn't. I couldn't
Oh
keep her quiet.
wow.
He can. He could. He would.
Mm.
So it became a fight between us. So now I hated this child for breaking my
Oh my
marriage.
gosh. Yeah.
Like we were happy before you came here. We were happy before
Oh
you
my
came here.
God.
You just had to show up.
Yeah.
Now I'm competing with my husband for unnecessary
Oh
things,
gosh.
who can get the milk cold
Oh
fastest.
man.
So even if Kai would say, try, you can rest, I would say no, and I would say no and pass out before I finish my sentence. That's how tired I
Yeah.
would be because I'm trying to keep up.
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep up.
Now, can I wanna
But
I
yeah,
wanna ask quickly. So okay. So baby's born, baby's healthy. Are there any other sort of like any consequences that can happen to the baby as a result of you being HIV positive, or once the baby is born, the baby is negative, like that's it from there on, like they're their own person, nothing else.
that's it. That's good news all the way. I almost took the risk. Seriously, that's another thing that made me become
Mm.
detached. I said, I'm not going to breastfeed for the reason that I don't want to accidentally infect her.
Wait.
So I
So
became
so hang
detached.
on.
You can breastfeed. You
So
can.
okay, so you can breastfeed. The child won't get infected.
Yes. But there is a risk to it. So I wanted to eliminate any sort of risk.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I did not want to have now that the nipples, because nipples bleed when you're breastfeeding, because
Oh.
I knew if I saw blood on my nipple and she's sucking on it, I was going to pass out. So I was not going to be able to handle that. So I asked the doctor to give me pills that stop breast
Yeah.
milk from coming out. So you take those, they cut it off.
Mm.
So that too, but for the first 3 weeks or 6 weeks, you have milk, you lactate. So more than anything, it's like I've got this milk in my breast, but I can't give it to her.
Mm.
I don't want to. I can, but I don't want to. And it seems like my decision is choking me now.
Wow.
So I did not have that mother to child connection as any mother who breastfed would tell you. There's this connection when you breastfeed to the baby, the eye locking and then the biting and all of those. It's an
Mm.
experience for every
Okay.
woman.
Mm.
I didn't have that. So it felt like I adopted
Oh
her.
my gosh.
It felt like she was an adopted child. She was just given to me.
Mm-mm.
And now I have to take care of this child. I cannot even be the mother that I would like to be. But forgetting that it was a decision I made, and Ninka would support me through it all. My husband is an amazing man, and I'm glad that I found a smart, wise man, because any guy would not stand for the nonsense that I came
Mm.
with. Never mind that I'm HIV positive, suicidal. Now, nothing makes me happy
Mm.
with this child. Nothing makes me happy with what we discussed beforehand, what we agreed on beforehand, what we thought would be the perfect thing for us to have. And now she's like this. Literally, he had a roller coaster for a wife, and somehow he was able to calm me down. And as today, I always tell people, if you want to calm me down, call Kai.
Mm.
If you think I'm getting out of control, call Kai. He's the only person who can calm me down. And I appreciate having that kind of stability,
Wow.
that order. Yeah, knowing that no matter how crazy I can be, there's somebody's going to be like, that's unnecessary.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That is phenomenal. That's phenomenal.
And if you don't have that in your life, you find yourself derailing.
Mm.
Sometimes I actually wanted, that this thing of women saying they wanted to hit their kid against the wall,
I, I I
head
was
first.
thinking of that when you were talking, by the way.
I wanted to do that to her, to shut it up.
Oh my God.
Sometimes I just wanted to take a pillow and just put it on her,
Mhm.
to shut it up. Just shut it up. She must just keep quiet. She must just keep quiet. I'm tired. I just want to sleep. I just want to sleep 2 hours of sleep, and I'll come back to her. I had help, but I didn't want it because I felt that help was taking the mother responsibility more and more away from me. And when will I be her mother? When everybody is here for me? I had all the help you can imagine, trust me.
Yeah.
I did not even have to be with her. I had all the help you can imagine, but I wanted to be responsible for my own child. I mean, she stayed in my stomach. The reasoning we have is she stayed in my stomach for so long. She kicked me.
Mm.
I'm the one who
Mm.
suffered. You all don't know nothing. You don't understand what I went through, which is true, you don't. But if you are failing in taking care of her and you don't want the help and you pretend like you can do it, it frustrates you. And in private and in secrecy, you want to
Oh
kill the
my
child.
God.
So I went through all of those. But as I say, I'm blessed to have had my husband who made sure that he was always there with
Yeah.
me.
So
That
yeah, how
Mhm.
do you then make the transition? I mean, you've had all these things, you've had the HIV diagnosis, the roller coaster, the being suicidal, and then you become a mom and your mind's sort of all over the place and you had the post-traumatic stress. How do you make that jump from there? Because now when I'm speaking to you, it doesn't look like, I mean, I could be wrong. It doesn't look like any of those things are affecting you. You just, so how was it?
No,
Therapy? Was it, what?
you have to be honest with yourself. I always say that when you are an alcoholic, You don't need a doctor to say you need to stop drinking. You know you're drinking too much. You know that you smoked too much, that it is going to end up sending you somewhere, where you don't want to be. You know when you're doing something wrong. You know in your heart, you know truthfully that you're doing something wrong. And if you don't stop, it's going to end you up in the wrong side of anything, whether it's health or the law. And with my husband loves me, but he's the most brutally honest person you will ever meet. You see, if you want to hear the truth about yourself, call Kai. Call Kai. He'll tell you the truth about yourself. You're a piece of shit. You're a nonsense for a person. You need to clean up. And if you don't, you will literally be alone. And which is true. And at some point, he did break up with me, though. Not married, but we're still dating. When I was still suicidal, trying to kill myself, he said to me, if you don't stop doing what you're doing, because I don't want to be responsible to have to answer to your parents as to what happened. So I'm going to leave you alone until you sort yourself out.
Wow.
Because there is no way I'm going to be sitting down with your family explaining what happened.
Damn.
So he broke up with me. That because I loved him and he knew I loved him and he knew if more than anything, I want to keep him, so I will clean up. So I cleaned up, you know. But it was like, I'm not going to accuse your mom that I found you dead. No, it's not going to happen. I'm not the person going to tell your parents the bad news. I'm sorry. I'm not at the age or maturity where I'm okay with that. So you are messing my life up. I thought this was going to be a relationship, but this is a God and a suicidal person relationship where you are out to kill yourself. I'm out to stop you. Wow. No, that's not my job. My job is to be in a relationship with you and date you and enjoy being with you. But right now I'm not, I'm not. I wake up at night wondering, I hope she's still here. Damn. And he told me straight, that's not a relationship that he wants to be in. And therefore he's breaking up with me. And yeah, so he's that type of person who will hurt himself to help you become okay. So he would tell me straight up, Fifths, you need to stop. You need to stop. We prayed for this child. God gave us the child. If you cannot do it, I'm here for that reason. That's the reason why we had a child after marriage, not before marriage. That's why we did not have a child out of wedlock. It's so that we can be here for each other. So if you don't allow me to do that, I'm going to have to take the child away from you until you become okay. And he's going to have to go tell family, which now I don't like people in my business. He knows that. So he's going to have to go sit down with family and discuss how we're going to help you. So I'm thinking to myself, oh my goodness, now everybody's going to know that I'm a psycho. Ooh, because he does not stop talking. He talks too much just like me. They're going to know everything, including the suicides, things that they're not supposed to know. They're going to find out, oh no, someone has to clean up. So I registered for a degree, another degree on top of what I had already, to take my mind off. Okay. And he took care of the child. I focused on school. So we had roles that we still have today. My job was to make sure they are fed, both of them. Everything else, I did not need to worry.
Wow.
I just needed to make sure that there's food for them to eat whenever they wanted to eat. Everything else, Kai would take care of. Playing with her, bathing her, teaching her, everything. He took care of that. So it's like I took up this job and I had to be okay with it, of being their feeder, being around them and not forcing my way around them, enjoying time with them. And if I feel rejected, I have to go back to my books. So my books kept me busy. By the time I got out of my books, we were okay.
Wow.
We were okay. By the time I was done with my second degree, we were okay. We were fine. We were managing, we were surviving. We had a good support structure from the doctors to family. So and I went back to work in a month after giving birth.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't stay long. Yeah, I went back in a month. It's because of that I felt rejected. So therefore, let me do what I love, which is my job. Focus on what I love and stop being bitter about not being part of the team.
Yeah.
There's no way I cannot be part of the team. I'm the mom to this child, Come sundown, I'm the one who puts it to bed. Come sun up, it's me and her and the dad, So whatever feelings I had, they were just in my head. So I let go of those kind of thoughts of thinking that I'm not in the team.
Yeah.
When I had a very big role to play. You know, if they were not fed, they become very grumpy. Today, they're still grumpy when I feed them, you know.
Yeah.
Like this child, literally, when she wants to play, she goes to
Yeah.
dad. When she wants food, she comes to me. Even
Yeah.
today, it's a norm. They even call me to ask what can they make for themselves.
Wow. Snap.
So it's you know, I love that position. I love it. I love it. You know, because I can control their health.
Yeah.
And I tell them all the time, if I want to kill you too, kill you through food
Yeah.
because you like my food.
Wow.
You know,
Yeah.
so at the end of the day, we need to be honest and accept and realize that, you know what, this is nonsensical. It's either you change or you continue. If you don't change, it's gonna and it's you're gonna lose your family. You decide.
Mm.
You decide.
Wow.
And I think that's another thing that makes me a psycho person type of thing is that when I take a decision, I stick by it.
Mm.
If I say I'm quitting, I'm quitting, I'm quitting. If I'm quitting my job, I'm quitting my job. I'm not playing around. Even if it's going to be difficult for me, but I've agreed
Mm.
to it.
Mm.
I'll stand by it. Even if it's the hardest thing to do, I'll stand by it. And I think that it helps me to make decisions that are hard, including realizing what's important in my life. You know, it's easy for me to make a decision. It's the easiest thing to do for me, make a decision. It's either left or right. There's nothing in between. I'm not an in-between person. You know, when we've been talking about this interview, I knew the exposure that it's gonna put me into. It's gonna be bigger than what I've ever had because it's online and anything online stays for a lifetime. And I thought to myself, if I could change, not changing the face of AIDS of HIV, it's not a topic to discuss today, but change how people view the virus and how they behave around people who are positive and what they think is, especially when it comes to ARVs, which I hope we're going to get into it, when it comes to ARVs and PrEP and anything else in between, how they behave. If I could change anybody's mind to not get infected, I would do these videos every day of my life. Every day of my life. Every day of my life, nonstop, for free, you know. I had, when I was doing talks at Love Life, my opening line was, if I had a trifina when I was 20, I would not be positive today.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah, you understand what I mean? If I had a trifina in my 20s when I was when I found out I'm positive, I would not be
Mm.
positive. I did not have a trifina. I had a free ride. Like seriously, my life was a slide. You know,
Mm.
I stopped by the ground, and sometimes we do need these kind of things now to stop us from being us. Do you
Mm.
understand?
Mm.
I had it all, Joel. That money was not a problem to me. I don't know if I was negative, what type of person would I have been? So the next question people will ask me is, would you change anything in your life? No. So the next is like, even your status? I'm like, no, no. Because had I not been positive, I would not be this person today. I would not be this person today. I was a total different person going to a different direction. My husband always says, you know, if I didn't meet you when I met you and what happened to you happened, you'd be in Turkey, I'd be all over the world. I would not be here.
Mm.
You know, I was literally leaving. I was literally leaving South Africa. I stayed here, but I was not
Mm.
here. You know, I had international influence. I had that's when I met Sutu for that matter, you know.
Oh, okay.
I had international influence. I knew exactly what was outside and how I can get it. And getting a plane ticket was not even a matter of what are we selling or it was just go to the bank and get money.
Mm. Mm.
You know, I would not be this person today, and I would not change my status for any reason.
Wow.
I would want to be an HIV positive wife, mother, and because it taught me something. Contracting HIV taught me a lot about self-respect, self-love, and understanding that you don't have to. There are things you don't have to do, no matter what you think. No, you don't have to go out. No, you don't have to drink. No, you don't have to smoke. No, you don't have to have a girlfriend. No, you don't have to look macho. You don't have to. All you have to do is love yourself and respect yourself. That you have to do. I had lost that. I had lost self-respect. I had lost self-love. I was controlled by what I had, forgetting what's on earth. If I died today, even if you put that money in the coffin, I would not use it. You know, even if you put everything I had in the coffin, it'd be useless. So whatever I had controlled me, and I allowed it to a point where I did not know who I was and what I wanted for myself and how to achieve it. You would come to me then and say, I have an idea. I'm like, how much do you need? Let's go with it. Do I think I'm interested in what you're telling me? No, I've got the money to back you up. I can make profit. Good, let's go. You know? But today, come to me with an idea. I'll ask you, firstly, I have no interest in this field, and therefore there is no way I'm going to put money in it. But then it would not, I was not going to reason like that, you know? It was just, you need money, I'll give you money. That's how I got into restaurants. I had money to give, to partner up with people, to co-own, you know, to assist here and there. I even had a lingerie shop.
Wow.
I got my stuff from Turkey.
Oh, wow.
I got my stuff from Turkey.
Wow.
Yeah, I had a lingerie shop in 7th Street. I don't know if you know Melville.
No, I do. I've never actually been to Melville. I know where it
Let's
is.
tell you
I know where
about
it is because remember back in the day when there was Yo TV, when there was like P.O. Box Melville, what? That's
it's around there.
Yeah. That's how I know it.
It's around there. Yes, it is the most. It was then. Now it's gone down. It was the. If you wanted to succeed in anything from music, it was the most artistic street anybody could be in. Any business would succeed. It was like I know, a small Times Square type of thing, where there's restaurants, there's nightlife, it was happening.
Yeah. Actually, I just remembered. No, I have been to Melville. Actually, it's very cultured. I have. I just remembered. Yeah, I have. So let me ask you.
So it's one street.
Let me ask you this, right? So, is there any truth to this statement that HIV is a death sentence? To what extent is that a true statement, if any?
To be honest with you, it is the truth, because it's a death sentence in a sense of, you know, being on ARVs now, it's not fun and games. I'm yet to meet an HIV positive
By the way,
person.
sir, just one sec, because I just realized something, that both you and I know what ARVs. Can you just explain to people who don't know what's an ARV?
Antiretroviral medicines, where it suppresses the virus in your body and keeps it in check. It's more like it stops the virus from replicating.
Okay.
It does not remove it from your body. It just stops it from replicating. The replication of the virus is what causes problems in a lot of people. So hence, I was angry at our government for introducing PrEP in 2016, whereby a lot of people could have survived and been negative, because it's the replication that's the problem. It's not you getting the virus that's the problem. You can get the virus and not get infected because you took PrEP, but taking so long to introduce it to people because of money, that's just sick. You know, that is just sick. A lot of people could have survived not getting infected. And another thing is that if you introduced ARVs to those who are already infected, don't wait for them to get sick. Because the sicker I am, the easier it is for me to reinfect. And anger does, and hence I say, it's either you are angry at yourself for being positive, or you're angry at the world for allowing such things to exist. So there's two people who are HIV positive. Those who are angry at themselves that they were not careful, that was me. I was not angry at the world, I was angry at myself, hence I wanted to harm myself. rule number one, my rule was I won't infect anybody. I'm the last person in my space who's going to be infected with this virus. But I wanted to kill myself. Do you understand the craziness in that statement? Is that you want to kill yourself, but you want to take care of people. Like, it doesn't make sense, you know? And if I had to infect anybody, that would kill me, but I wanted to die. Do you understand what I mean? It doesn't make sense that infecting somebody else will kill me, but I'm trying to kill myself.
So what?
The most important thing is to start ARVs as soon as possible so that you don't infect. So there's two types, telling you about the two types of people. The other person is the person who's so angry at the world that they start reinfecting people randomly. What they did to me, I'm going to do it to them. So there's those two people. It's unlikely to find a third type who's going to be a responsible party immediately. It's unlikely. There are few of them. I've never met any who will take responsibility and change their ways and change their life and not be harm to themselves or to others, but make sure that they're okay and live. It's unlikely. The likeliness is anger towards yourself, anger towards the world. Anger towards yourself, you want to harm yourself. Anger towards the world, you want everybody to feel what you're feeling by infecting them.
Yeah. So
there's those three types of people who are HIV positive.
Yeah. So when you say ARVs, you say being on ARVs is not fun. What do you mean by that? Because let me just explain. So in like a place like Australia, right? There's definitely this idea that, I know a lot of people they just sleep around, no protection, right? And there's this idea that if you catch it, there's medicine out there. There's actually a kink where some people actually want to catch it. Right, they want to catch it, so because it's like, hey, there's a medicine out there that can make you live a long time, but what you're saying is taking this medicine is not fun. Can you elaborate?
It's not fun now with the side effects of this thing. Sometimes I even, and Kai has to remind me again, is that don't forget, you're on medicine, you're on medication. So things you are feeling, don't get frustrated and try to fix them. Getting a headache, I'd want to take a headache pill. And he'll remind me, there's no point on what you're doing, because I would forget that they cause headaches, severe headaches. You'll feel like you have a hangover and you'll question yourself. So sometimes I'll be like, Kai, did I drink and I forgot that I had too much alcohol? I was like, no, you didn't drink. I forget that I take these pills and they have these side effects. I want to fix the side effect, forgetting that it'll never go away. It'll never leave. So you have to constantly remember that, the cause of this feeling that you have right now could be your pills. The cause of this could be your pills. The cause of that could be your pills. So they range from diarrhea, dizziness, fatigue, tiredness, headaches, nausea, pain and nerve problems, and skin rash and itching.
Oh, dear.
And another one that's not listed in what I'm reading, these are standard daily. I sometimes I suffer from diarrhea. I sometimes think it's what I ate, and I forget that it's not what I ate. I forget that it's not what I ate. Sorry about that. It's not what I ate. It's the pills I'm taking. But you forget because now it's become part of your life. Gosh. I can take those without thinking. I don't have to think. I even know by holding the can as to how many are in the can. Wow. So by shaking it, I would know that in 5 days I need to stock up. I don't have to open it or count them to see how far am I to the next round. It's even my daughter, she even knows. She's like, Mom, you didn't take your pills. She'll bring me water and my pills. It's a norm to the house. It's normal. Mommy takes these pills. It's normal in my household, And they know that I flip it upside down after taking it, because another thing is memory loss.
What?
You forget a lot. Yeah.
Oh, man.
ARVs cause memory loss. Yes. You forget a lot. You forget simple things that you did just now. Like, you would even forget how many drinks you had yesterday, even though you did not drink too much. You were not drunk at all. But you'd be like, did I drink too much? Like, no, man. The last time I remember, I had one can of Savannah, and next I wanted to go to bed. You know, sometimes so I forget a lot, and one of the things that I realize I forget is, did I take it or did I not take the pill?
Okay.
So I came up with a system that if I've taken it, I will flip the can upside down.
Okay.
If the can is upside down, it means it's
Okay.
taken. If the can is sitting straight right up, it means it's not taken.
How often?
So they know that when the can is sitting upright, they will tell me, "Don't go to sleep. You haven't taken your
Okay.
pills." And after taking it, I flip it upside down. In the morning when I see it, I'm like, "Oh, I took them yesterday," because I would not remember if I did or I didn't.
Jeez.
And you don't want to overdose.
Oh man.
You don't want to overdose. You don't want to
Oh
underdose.
gosh.
So you've got two problems where you are not taking good care of yourself, or you're over taking care of yourself, and both they are dangerous for your life. You know. Another one, hallucinations, where your dreams become so real. They become so real that you get up and fight things that are not, like when you are fighting in a dreamland. I'm physically up. If I'm dreaming about swimming, there's a chance that I'm literally doing this in the bed.
Oh my gosh. You know,
There's that
when you
heightened.
say as you're talking about these ARVs and the side effects, I can now see why drug addicts mix this with their drugs. I can now see, because I know that in South Africa, a lot of
Yep.
people actually, they cut it and they mix it with like some of their other drugs. And I guess it's mostly for the
Yes, yes.
hallucinogenic effect, probably for that.
Yep. And, and another thing is, mind you, this pill, you need to be in good shape, eating form and everything, but yet the same pill is making you so tired that you don't want to wake
Damn.
up. How do you stay in tip-top shape while you are tired all the time? So you continuously have to fight the tide to just survive and smile and be happy, you know? Just for that, just for a day's happiness. And mind you, it takes 3 days. So even if that's another thing, people get so angry. That's another. Now it's the ARV taking people. The ARV taking people, there's types of them. They're the ones that are like, you know what, I'm sick of these feelings. I'm stopping this
Oh
nonsense.
gosh.
I haven't been sick. I've been well. They stop their treatment.
Oh no.
Then they started getting. Then they start getting opportunistic infections. But at least they had 6 months of peace.
Mm.
You know, no headaches, no weird dreams, no skin rash that looks like you were burnt,
Oh my
you
gosh.
know, and the cost of keeping yourself okay with the skin rashes and everything else and the food that you eat, it's costly.
Mm.
So that's the reason why people are like, you know what, but I don't even have food to eat, but I'm busy taking these pills. Even if the pills are free from government, food I have to buy. So I might as well just quit, eh?
Damn.
Just quit. And that's when they get sick. And it takes 3 days for the medicine to disappear in your body and the virus replicates
Oh my
again.
God.
So if I skip, so I know I can skip a day or two. I cannot go 3 days without it. So when I'm really, really, really tired of it, I will skip a day or two, but not 3 days. Because after 3 days, there's a chance that it can reject me. So I would have to change the plan that I'm in and try something else, which it's even worse trying something new. So if you've been taking one type and it's been working for you, it's not advisable for you to just switch willy-nilly to the next one however you feel like it, you know? It's not advisable because it could just be worse. Your body could reject it. You could have more problem. You could have liver failure from the new regime that you're taking. You could have other problems that you never had from the new one that you're taking. So it's always advisable to stay in the one that you're on that seems to be working. Because another thing is that people don't talk about is HIV positive people have to take blood tests. They have to do blood tests every 3 to 6
Why?
months. So everything to check how is the virus behaving in my body and if the pills are working. The only way I can know if they are working or not working is by blood tests.
Wow. Okay.
You know, and I've got fear. I have a fear of needles. So imagine, seriously, my husband even told the nurses when I was giving birth that good luck needling her with
Mm.
anything. She's gonna argue with you, and she will make you quit your job in
Mm.
argument. This one. Good luck. So I'm gonna leave the room, and you're gonna have a fight with her because I'm not gonna stand here talking nonsense because I know her nonsense. You don't know her nonsense. I know her
Mm.
nonsense. So when the nonsense comes, I don't want to be here. So he'll walk out when they have to inject me. But I'll negotiate. I'll negotiate. Hey, I even know the things that I used, so I'll even tell you what to use, not to cause pain.
Okay.
So you'll be annoying a health worker
Mm.
as you are not qualified to be telling them what to use, which needle
Yeah.
to take, and how to put it, and how to do it on you. You're not qualified to tell. You're annoying them, quite
Yeah.
frankly. You're
True
wasting
that.
their time. They don't want to
Mm.
hear that. I'll be there telling you what to do. I'll be there telling you, no, use the butterfly. Use the butterfly. It's
Wow.
better. And the butterfly is for kids. Eh? It's for babies.
Oh snap! Yeah.
So the lady will be like, "Bah, you're grown up. Stop. I can't use that on you." I'm like, but it doesn't cause
Yeah.
pain. We win. You get the blood, but don't
So
get the
tell me
pain.
something. So, there's a lot of misconception when it comes to HIV. So I remember when I was in South Africa, this was probably 2012 or something, right? Where it's just, I feel like it feels like a movie. So we're in this club in Kimberley, right? And I see this girl. She was dressed.
There are clouds in Kimberley.
Yeah, well, it was actually Shabin. It was a Shabin. But for the interest of people who are here, I'll say a club, but it's more like a pub. Yeah. So this girl walks in, right? And as she walks in, I'm noticed like no one's paying attention to her, right? So I'm just like, damn, isn't anyone paying attention to who just walked in? Like the girl's fly. Like, she's so fine, you know? She goes to the bathroom and I'm just like, no one wants to go talk to her. I'm gonna go talk to her. Right. Anyway, long story short,
You brave.
I was brave, yeah. Anyway, long story short, as I was approaching her, my friend Ping was like, yo, don't go there, bro. Like, yo, like you'll get sick, bro. So what are you talking about? He's just like, we call her what. And in my mind, I think he said they call her silent assassin or something like that. But in my mind, I was like, I don't understand this, right? From my understanding of how ARVs work, etc., right? Is it possible for her to be okay and to infect me, and for me to say for maybe for me to even die in the next couple of years, but she's okay? How on earth does that work?
Hence, I said it behaves. Hence, the blood test every 3 months or six
Mm.
months. So, when HIV enters your system, it's either A, you have problems that you don't know about. That's why there's this argument there was the argument, I don't know if it still exists. Nobody has ever died of
Oh yeah,
HIV. HIV
I've
doesn't
heard
kill.
it.
AIDS
Yeah,
doesn't kill.
I've heard it.
It's related
Mm.
sicknesses. You might find yourself where you were maybe born with a lung problem that you did not know, and as soon as you got HIV, it brought it back, and you're gonna be killed by those lungs.
Mm.
And then people are gonna be like, "Oh, but I will be AIDS," but that's not the
Okay.
case. The HIV made whatever illness you already have go rapidly so fast that you do not have a chance. In 1 minute you'll be treating TB, next sonally pneumonia, ninning sonally cancer, ninning sonally a lot of things just happening at the same time and you end up dying.
Wow.
And there are other people who I think like me, whereby I was not a sickly person. So I never fell into any illness, mind you, and this is God's grace. I've never had any
Mm.
um of the illnesses, your TB, your pneumonia, no,
Mm.
never. I have never, no matter what I did to myself now during the suicidal days, I have never had a situation where I got admitted because of a certain sickness due to HIV, AIDS or HIV. No, I've never, and which is a blessing. I don't know how God did it for me, but for someone who behaved the way I did, I was supposed to get all of these illnesses. Another thing that I learned through
Mm.
reading is that what you eat is important. What you eat is important. Yeah, I hate food, but when I do take food, it must not be the other brand, the red one,
Mm.
you know. It cannot be, it has to be proper home cooked meal. And certain things I cannot eat because my body won't process it. It'll take longer. And like I found out black pepper takes longer to digest in your body. It can stay for 3 weeks in your stomach,
What?
okay? So now I'm not the person to be taking, yeah, I'm not the person to be taking black pepper willy-nilly, because now I'm using my body to be working on grinding the black pepper instead of keeping me healthy. Do you understand? So my system is no longer focusing on other important things. It's focusing on fixing this thing that's not leaving the stomach, you know. So I would rather not have black pepper so that I don't overwork my body. It's little things that you start learning and understanding how to help yourself.
Wow. Yeah.
I limit my intake. I'm addicted to sushi, but I have to limit my intake of that raw
Mm.
fish, mainly of the parasites that
Yeah.
live in it.
Yeah.
You being negative, it's easy for you to get rid of the parasites. Me, they might just grow at a rate that I would not be aware of, so I need to limit it.
Mm.
So it's little things, that pork. I love pork, but I have to stop eating pork I cannot have bacon as I would
Mm.
love to because of all the parasites that live in the pig. Your body can handle it. My body can pretend to handle it, but I'd rather put that energy elsewhere in my
Wow.
body than fighting parasites that I don't have business of
Yeah.
taking.
So what about okay, you've explained that. So now what about, there's the story about, former President Jacob Zuma, he slept with someone who was HIV positive, and he was asked by this journalist, Mr. Zuma, what did you do? And he's like, I took a shower, clean yourself, you know.
That was a sarcastic, first, it was a sarcastic
You
response
reckon it was sarcastic?
to a dumb question. Very sarcastic. That guy is very sarcastic guy. That guy is like that's a very. It was a sarcastic response to a dumb
Mm.
question. Do you think I'm gonna tell you that I've got a drug dealer who can supply me with PrEP before PrEP is available for everybody just like that? Do you think I'm going to tell you what I've got a pharmacy in the underground as a banker in my house that's got anti-HIV medicine? No. So
But then,
I took a shower.
but
Let's
okay,
move
but
along.
then,
That will keep me talking.
but then to actually talk about that, it, can taking a shower reduce your chances of contracting it, as far as your understanding?
No. But male and female, we are built
Oh yeah.
differently. The chances of a male contracting HIV is less compared to females. So when you might be negative sleeping with a positive woman and not get it, but now I can be negative and sleeping with a positive guy and get it on the first
Mm.
night. They don't even have to be on ARVs to be lowering the transmission or anything like that. No. That's why my doctor laughed at me. Hooray. There is no way you're going to infect him.
Yeah, chances are so low.
This is the first time. Exactly. And I was not on medication at the time,
Mm.
I was not. It was just that my CD4 count was proper. I was healthy. And another thing that people forget, HIV is different. It's not the same. It's not, there's types of
Mm.
HIV.
Wait.
The types. That's another thing that
What do you mean there's types?
there's types. So there's type 1 and I think in type 2. And then the other one is worse than the
Mm.
other, whereby the chances of you taking medicine and everything working out in your favor are slim to none. Hence the rule of saying, as soon as you find out, stop sleeping around because you might, yes, you are positive today. You are positive right now. It doesn't mean that you are not going to contract a type that's going to be detrimental to your life.
Mm.
So you find people continuing sleeping around and doing things and dying faster. The question you were asking, Mara, when I'm only sharp, I'm not sleeping around. You got it
Mm.
from me. I'm not sleeping around. When you continue sleeping around and you get a different type.
Okay.
So you can get infected with 2 HIVs. So you get attacked by two different. I would make an example of it. You get attacked by Iran and Russia.
Okay, I got you. Yeah.
in your body.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, to make it a layman explanation. Yes. So you get two different types. So you get the stronger soldiers who are really, really out to kill you, and you get the ones that takes rest every second week, every 2 weeks. They take a rest and forget about you. Oh, and remember, oh, we need to kill this person and
Of
come
course.
back. So you find that you had a lighter version of it, and you went and fetched the bad one. Now you've got two types in your system, and chances are there's no medicine that can help you when
Yeah.
you're there. And people forget that's another thing. Not all ARVs work. That's why you find that the first time when you start taking ARVs, when I started taking my medicine, I used to take 3 pills. So from the 3 pills, the doctors realized, okay, they're working. Let's reduce it to 2 pills a day. So I would take it 12 hourly. So 12 hourly, oh, it's working. Let's see if it does one day. Oh, it's working. Stick to one day. So you find that when you can't get to those levels one day, you have to keep up with the 12 hourly because you went down and contracted the one that is not good for even the
Yeah.
pills. You know, so that's another thing that kills people quick is the type they can contract.
So when it comes to someone like Magic Johnson, what do you think is happening there? There's always been like rumors that he actually got a cure. Do you think there's a cure out there? What do you think is happening with people who are like really, really famous who contracted that Magic Johnson?
Money, you know, with money, there's nothing you cannot do. To be honest with
Mm,
you, there's a lot you can do with money. You There are things that we know today that existed then, and your IV injections where you can get your fruit through a drip, it existed then for rich people.
mm,
Today it's coming to the middle class. It looks like the best thing ever, but the rich folk has always had
true.
it, you know. Doctors coming into your house to treat you in your house. Rich folk always had
Mm,
that. The middle class is only getting it now, you know. So not to push a lie and say there is a cure, because it's like looking a needle in a haystack.
mm,
It's pointless. Instead of you taking care of yourself and making sure that you don't reinfect anybody and you keep healthy to keep yourself alive long enough, stop looking for something that is a needle in a haystack. So even if there is a cure, the chances of you getting it without a billion or a trillion or whatever amount of money that's required. Firstly, firstly you need to pay for secrecy
yes.
before you even get the pill.
Yes.
You get it, and secrecy is more expensive than the pill. For number one, you need to sign document the NDAs, non-disclosure agreements, all sorts of things, and you need to pay for all of these things. Because you'll be crippling the pharmaceutical business if you come out and say, I'm cured because there is a cure. They'll kill you now. It's money.
Can I ask you?
They
Can
will
I
kill
ask you
you.
something? So in
Mm-hmm.
Australia, I know
Mm-hmm.
and I wonder whether or not they have this in South Africa. In Australia, if you get an infectious disease, it has to be reported, right? So there's a national database where it has to be reported. Does South Africa have the
Yes.
same thing?
Yes. Yes, we do. We have stats. SA
Okay.
stats. Statistics South
Yeah.
Africa.
Yeah.
Stats SA. Stats SA. That's what it's called. Stats SA.
Okay.
Stats SA. Hence, um, kids who are born. That's why there's no private home affairs.
Okay. Mm,
That's why there's national
mm,
labs. You know, there is no private lab. So the numbers are registered. So as soon as one tests positive, it's registered in the National Registry of the numbers of HIV positive people within the
okay.
country.
That makes sense.
So that's why the push from government side to say get tested, so they can know the numbers. So if they know the numbers, they know the required supply of
Makes
medicine.
sense. Makes sense.
So if you become a secret at Kwale or
Mm,
Velcom, you become a secret who's carrying HIV, nobody knows about it, and you are not counted into the stock that they bring into the country, you're gonna end up stealing it, and shortage. That's where shortage comes in
mm,
from secrecy.
okay.
That's why they run out of stock. How do you run out of stock when you've got the stats?
Makes sense. Okay. Okay.
It's a 30-day period. So that means there's another person who's buying it under carpet who does not want to be a stat.
Okay.
That's why you end up getting a shortage.
Right.
You end up getting a shortage because there's a person who's buying it under carpet. Or there are people who are buying it, taking it to a family member in an African country where the supply is not as good as it is in South
Okay.
Africa.
Yeah.
Making count doing like people are counted where now you go take the stock of the counted. So
Right.
So now for now, I would not spend time looking for a cure. I would, if I have to look for a cure and I had the money to, I'll be doing it while I'm on ARVs and taking care of myself. In case I fail, I don't find it.
Right.
I'm still good and
Okay.
healthy.
Okay. Yeah.
So even if Magic Johnson have it or had it, more than anything, I would say money can buy you good life. But it won't buy you health, it can buy you good life. And this virus, I've learned, it is dependent on how you behave, how you handle yourself, what you put in your mouth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I did not have to take ARVs. I took ARVs because we wanted to fall pregnant.
Okay. Makes sense.
My CD4 count was not dropping. It was
Yeah.
not dropping. It was not dropping. It was just staying high, high. And I had no reason to take
Yeah.
ARVs. I was healthy.
Okay.
Because in South Africa back then, you had to be sick to take ARVs. But because we wanted to have a baby and I didn't want to infect my husband, I had to take the ARVs to lower the viral load in my body, and therefore I cannot infect him in
Yeah.
turn.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. I really want to have this conversation with you again another time to go even deeper. Like, wow, you just opened my eyes. But as we slowly come to a close, can you help me understand then, looking forward as a South African, what do you sort of hope South Africans can do? Because obviously, I think South Africa is the place where, well, I always say that is because we actually count, so we know how many people. I think there are other countries that may have, but they just don't have the know-how of counting the stats. That's just me. Maybe I'm wrong, right? But
Yes. No, you're right. You're right.
yeah, but what can South Africans do? Because obviously it's in the country, we have it. Like, what can we do differently? So 5, 10 years from now, how would you want South Africans to be behaving, or what do you see happening in South Africa?
This is not only South Africa, it's for all over the world. People need to stop wanting things that are not for them. Am I making sense? So stop. Sex is not wrong. What's wrong is you doing it with no intention of marrying the person. Like what's wrong is promiscuity. If you sleep around, that's wrong. So we need to start there. We need to stop the attitude of sleeping around and thinking that people's lives don't matter. It does matter, Newo. It does matter. You sleeping around and thinking you're enjoying yourself, it's a pleasure for that moment in time. You don't know you're positive. You infect the next person. But had you just kept yourself to yourself until marriage for all I care, or used protection. If you want to enjoy married people's benefits, use protection at the most. Because sex is designed for married people. If you are going to do it, then use protection at least. If you're going to be foolish, at least protect yourself in your stupidity. It is not about the next person. That was my other thing, where everybody was like, this person knew they were positive, open a case of attempted murder against them. I was like, no, guys, I was not raped. I was not raped. I was not raped. It was just one day where the condoms disappeared for some weird reason, and you be like, ah, it's been 3 months, what's the big deal? And that's the day that the big deal is the big deal. You know what I mean? I was not raped, I was not forced. No. So why am I now going to blame somebody else for? I had a responsibility myself of my own life. If I respected myself and knew what sex is not designed for drunkards and party people. It's designed for marriage and respect yourself. I would not be here. But because I disregarded the importance of why God made it, I started doing it as if I'm the I invented it. No, I didn't. I found it here. I found people having sex. So for me to have behaved the way I did, and I was an inventor of sex, Ngari, I've got powers to protect myself without, no. You know, it's unlikely. Well, now it's happening because of the cheating system, whereby a married couple, nothing wrong, everything is good, everybody's negative, life is good. One of us decides to cheat. We bring this thing into the house. That's analogy. Dirt. Dirt is what brings problems. Dirt is what. So if we stop that nonsense, that attitude of it's okay. It's okay to cheat, it's okay to lie, it's okay to steal, as long as they don't see it. No, it's irrelevant. Now, this poor woman or this poor man is going to get infected because, I mean, this marriage has never been about using protection. For that matter. We are married, so it doesn't exist. So the day when are you going to be like, let's use a condom, it's going to be like, huh? So it's more like you are telling on yourself. So you can't do that. So you're going to continue lying. So lies. So for now, we need to stop trying to enjoy things that we don't deserve. It's like I don't afford a Benz, but I feel good every weekend for you to come pick me up in your car. To a point where now it's your job to make sure I'm in your car every weekend. I don't deserve it, because if I deserved it, I would work hard enough to buy it for myself. And have that comfort that you have with your own car. So it's the same thing. Let us stop enjoying things that we shouldn't be enjoying at the wrong time.
Yeah.
You know, when Kai agreed to be with me, he was taking the risk himself, upon himself. So the fear of me infecting him left me, because we are husband and wife, and whatever that comes with what we've decided today at this point in time, it's on both of us. It's not on you, your wife, me and my boyfriend, and his side chicks. So whatever shit that will come into our decision today that we have agreed, now whether we are going to be husband and wife, it's up. I have no fear anymore of infecting him. Because whatever comes, we will take care of it, both of us. I'm not going to be able to help my side guy with his infection. And I'm not going to be able to help his girlfriend. I'm not going to be able to tell my husband that I've got a side guy. My husband won't be able to tell me that he's got a girlfriend outside. It's a train of a mess that was started by a lie. So yes, I speak like this today because I'm where I am. Yes, it doesn't mean that I'm a perfect person. Yes, but at the end of the day, the truth of the matter is, if we stop trying to enjoy things that we don't deserve, we need to stop saying enjoying marital things. Sex is for married people. In South Africa, we would not have, there's no, you know, my grandmother used to say there's no fatherless child. But in South Africa, we have a word that says kids about they fatherless. It's impossible. Did I make myself Mariana? I'm Mariana. I'm the second Maria coming. God made me pregnant now. No, they have fathers. But because there was no commitment and no sense of responsibility in what we are doing, you can go.
Wow.
You can go. Now I become a single parent. There's no single parent. There's nothing like that. It doesn't exist. I did not make myself pregnant. Mana did not fall and make me pregnant. You know, there was a man involved. You enjoyed things you were not supposed to enjoy at the wrong time. Now you've made a baby that you don't want.
Wow.
You walk away because it's not attached to you. You move town. You move town. You move province. You leave. You forget. Now you've left this person with the mark of a single parent. Now we have this problem in our fiscus of having to. There's no fatherless child unless the father is dead. And if the dad is dead, that means that the family of the man will take care of the woman and the child. But because you did things behind closed doors and thinking that you can enjoy things that you're not supposed to be enjoying, you're here now. You know?
Yeah.
You're here now being infected for 14 years and trying to speak sense to people, you know?
Yeah.
I had no business. I had no business of getting infected now. None whatsoever. As I say, I had a good life. I knew the consequence of sleeping around. It's not like I was robbed because I was not smart. No. I enjoyed things I was not supposed to enjoy at the time I was not supposed to enjoy them. Do you know how beautiful it would have been today for me to have a negative story for me and my family? It would, but guess what I did? I did things that I was not supposed to do. The shame of telling my mom about my status was not about my status. It was about her knowing that I'm no longer a virgin. Because I could have gotten raped and I could have gotten AIDS like that, but no, the shame, of her thinking already she's a perfect child. That perfect child, only the worst thing you can imagine, a sexually contracted virus. So it means the first thing you think of somebody who has HIV is you sleep around. You've got too many partners. That's the first thing that comes into your head. I don't care who you are, what you think, you learned or you matured enough. No, the first thing that comes into your head is, oh my goodness, this is a hole. This is a hole. And it's most of the time it's not the case. But because of that, that's what made me not tell my mom.
Okay.
The embarrassment. Yes. The embarrassment of her finding out who her child could be a hoe.
Yeah. Wow.
So let us not get into things that require commitment and we're not willing to commit to the consequence that comes with it. And then we start blaming people. We start blaming people when now I'm positive. Now it's Newa's fault. No, it's not Newa's fault. Newa didn't rape me. It's my fault. I did not have self-respect.
Wow.
I did not have the bone. That's why I said to you, you don't have to do anything. I meant that. There is nothing you have to do. All you have to do is take care of yourself and love yourself and respect yourself. You don't have to. There's no kind of, there's nothing we're doing, but let's wait or walk to the garage, or if you're not going to the petrol station, another day. You get it? But because we have this, now we're naked, we have to. No. Put on your clothes and walk out. Nobody had a gun in my head. Nobody had a knife on my neck. Put on your clothes and walk out.
Wow.
But you chose to put yourself in a position of, but I'm here now. You're here now. Walk out. You don't have to buy chicks drinks. You can't. You don't go to a club and hope that you're gonna be bought a drink. Do you understand? But yet we want to give people the most highest responsibility of our own lives. And when things go south, it's your fault now. That's not fair. And the responsibility lies with each and every one of us. ARVs or no ARVs, PrEP or no PrEP. I don't care what's out there unless you are raped. Unless you are raped. There is no business of anybody contracting AIDS or HIV for that matter. There isn't. I don't care, with all the education we have, and I mean, we've got panic buttons in our car keys, but you can't press that when you feel like you are being cornered for something you don't want to do. So you're going to be like, but I couldn't get out of the room. You've got a panic button. There's a lot of situations where we find ourselves in clubs, but we're able to walk out. But once we get naked, we find, let's just do it because we're here now. No. You have a responsibility to your own life. Nobody owes you an explanation about your own life. Where now you will explain yourself later on, as I'm explaining myself today. Nobody will stand here and say, I'm speaking on behalf of Trifina. Here I am, but yet it was a collective when I was getting infected, as if I had no choice in it. I could have walked out. But I chose to empathize with my life. To be a story today. It's shocking that people are still willing to be stories after so many years of the virus being known. But you still want to be a story. 10 years to come, 20 years to come, 30 years to come. You want to be a story. Come on. We can do better than that. We really can do better than that. Nobody has to be infected. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry unless you are raped. nobody has to be infected. For the fact that my family is negative, it shows nobody has to be infected. You make a choice and a decision and you stick by it, whatever consequences that come with it. Being in a committed relationship, it's easy to take these risks. Hallelujah, true. If I was a single mother, I would have killed my daughter.
Oh my God.
Do you understand? But because it was a collective agreement, we are having this baby, there was somebody else who was standing in between me and my psychoness, who said it's not going to happen on my watch. Take a break, walk out, walk away, relax. Oof. But if I was alone, when you're alone now, you can tell yourself you are Jesus and you are God and you are Satan at the same time. By yourself, you know how strong we are as people to talk to ourselves and make ourselves feel good about the shit that we're doing. No, people will understand. Post-traumatic depression exists, so therefore I won't be judged for killing my child. I can reason until the mountain and back to make sure I'm in a good light. To make sure I'm in a good light. But when you have somebody who's responsible for your own life as you are of theirs, because of the commitment that you've made in front of God and your own family, and you said, I'm going to take upon myself, and I'm going to be a man to this person. I'm going to be a husband to this person. I'm going to take care of this person. Lead a day when I start shitting on myself, I know you won't even know about it because my husband will clean up.
Wow.
He took up that responsibility the day he said, will you marry me? That's the reason why a man will leave his mother and father and be one with his wife. Because you're taking upon a responsibility that God had, the parents had. That was my parents' problem until you came along and said, will you marry me? That was my parents' problem. That's why he was able to say, I'm breaking up with you because I don't want to have to explain to your parents what happened. I'm just your boyfriend, ba. I cannot explain what happened. Because whatever I say, it will be looked as, why did she keep quiet for so long until she died? As a husband, he can call a family meeting tomorrow morning. Family meeting. This child is crazy. We need to pray for her. We need to do something. We need to send her to Vescopis or something. I don't know, but she's crazy. So there's a fact. But with a boyfriend and girlfriend, which family do you call for a meeting? For Mantlwane? So we need to stop trying to enjoy things that are not meant for us at the time that we're enjoying them. That's what I did, and that's what got me to this my explaining story.
Wow, Fifi, you've got a lot of wisdom. You got so much life experience, and I think people have really taken a lot out of this. I actually thought like us talking, I thought it was gonna go for an hour. I think it's like 2 hours now. Like, there's a lot. There's a lot that I want to unpack myself here. But I really think I want to have another chat with you. Because you're definitely.
I'm available.
Yeah.
I'm available. As long as I'm in a Wi-Fi zone, I'm available.
Nah, you're definitely way wiser than I thought you were. I mean, I thought you were wise, but not this wise. In your way of just explaining things in a way that's easy to understand. I think this is definitely going to resonate with a lot of people. So yeah, as we come to a close, I do want to thank you, for your time. Time is money. Time is valuable. You could have been doing anything else. You chose to be here, chose to share your story. There are people in Australia. I've already got people messaging me about your story. Like, oh my gosh, this is so deep. I'm going to watch this with my family, et cetera, et cetera. So I think you're definitely changing lives with your story. Don't stop. We are thousands of kilometers.
I don't want to stop now.
We're thousands of kilometers away, but we're proud of you. You feel like, you definitely feel like family, and we really love the stuff that you're doing. You don't have to have a blue tick for us to be like, yeah, that's our hero.
No,
that's our everyday hero.
What I've realized with you is that I talk to you not knowing the amount of people you have. Those who don't know now know it's famous, guys. So, the people that now I might know 10 people, a million, and they hear me through you. That's good enough.
Yeah.
That's good enough for me. That's good enough.
No, that's perfect.
That's perfect for me. That's all that it takes. And as I said to you, if I had a trifina when I was 20, I would not be telling you my stories, Probably I'd be jetting off somewhere,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
Probably Dubai would have me at my
Yeah,
residence, you know.
yeah, no, that's all good. Look, I definitely I wanna chop it up with you again, but I actually want to do it face to face because I'm gonna come to South Africa, right? So I think that would be really, really awesome. I'll let you know when.
You're awesome for you to meet the family, right?
Yeah,
Meet the
you know,
crazies, and you'll see this
you know what?
crazy. There's two
Yeah.
more of
What's
me.
crazy is kind of like, and don't take this the wrong way, right? It's kind of like I don't want to meet Kai, and let me explain to you. It's kind of like one of those things where they say don't meet your heroes, because the way you talk about it, he just seems like he's just such an awesome guy, such a cool guy. You know what I mean? Like I
But
love seeing him through your eyes. You know what I mean? I really love seeing him through your
that
eyes.
that, that guy, that
You
guy,
know?
uh, that guy. You know when they say God made him, and then sadly he had to meet a crazy. I just wish he had a better
Yeah.
wife.
Yeah.
I wish he had a better wife, somebody with neck properly screwed on and stuff. You know, he had to meet a crazy, and I suppose I needed a very stable and a very strong
Mm,
person in any way you can
mm,
imagine. Because if I had a weak husband, I promise you, I'll send you to
mm,
suicide.
mm, mm,
With my bullshit, I'll send you to suicide with my
mm.
bullshit. I had to have a strong husband behind me. You know, I don't know how many times I've told that guy I will kill him,
Yeah.
eh?
Wow. Wow.
And he tells me straight
Yeah.
up, do it. Let's see who's gonna win. Do
Yeah.
it. You know, I, I need that type of
Yeah.
person. Weak people cannot survive me because I know myself. Can I let me know?
Mm, 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 mm.
I've got mouth for days. I've got mouth for days. I've got mouth for good reasons. I've got mouth for
Yeah.
bad
Yeah.
reasons.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm very blessed to have him, and I remind myself every time when I start forgetting who he is, what he has done in my
Mm,
life. And without Kai, I don't think I'd be alive
wow.
today.
That's deep.
I don't think so. I doubt that I'd be alive today. I was really on a derailed train now. I met him literally at the time when the train was just going kink and it was going down, and I met him,
Damn.
and I met him. I met him. He, more than anything, I love listening to him too.
Mm, mm.
Because you can't argue with that guy. Eh? If you don't have facts, you can't argue with him. So even when I come to him with my stories, I'll end up fighting
Yeah.
with him because he'll treat me like
You
that.
told
Like,
me.
where did you get that
You
information
told
from?
me. Yeah.
Who told you what you're saying?
Yeah.
Refer me to a book. I'll come back
Yeah.
to you. You know, so you can't come back with the not watertight story
Mm.
or situation. So more than anything, he challenges me and makes me a better person.
That's beautiful. That really is awesome.
And I would not want anything
Mm.
else. I would not want anything else. Yeah, one thing he annoys me. He's a typical
Yeah.
husband. You know, he wants me to cook for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's annoying. But over and above, he's an
Yeah.
amazing person. He's an amazing
Wow.
person.
Nah, that's awesome.
And no,
Yeah.
thank you for the
Nah,
opportunity,
all good,
Ba.
all
Thank you for
good.
the
Yeah. Look,
opportunity.
we'll be in
Thank
touch.
you.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pop this onto Instagram. I'll have it on, and then I'm gonna put it on YouTube as well, just with some subtitles where you're speaking Setswana, just so people can understand. But Fifi, thank you so much. You have a beautiful story. You have a beautiful life, and I'll be in touch with you very soon.
I know.
All right,
Thank you.
ciao.